Hi everyone. We just had a holiday. It was the 46th National Day in the UAE, and that's their equivalent to the 4th of July. So we had 4 days off, um, and me and my friends decided to go to Nepal since it was so close, since over here you can travel more. And it was a lot of fun. The first day we went to the monkey temple, and spoiler alert, there were monkeys, and they would attack you if you had anything like bags and they thought it was food in your hand. I did see one lady, she gave her son a chip, and the monkeys just kind of swarmed, so they threw the chips and then they swarmed over that way. But other than that, they wouldn't hurt you. They just were kind of like squirrels, like their equivalent of squirrels. Um, but it was really, really cool, and we climbed all the way up, and it was pretty high. And at the top, we had a meal at a restaurant, and so it was really cool to see the mountains and everything. And then after that, we went to a Hindu cremation temple, and I have never experienced anything like that, and that was never something I thought I would experience. They literally were burning people in front of you, and at one point, there was a body laying down in his near a river, and he was covered up, but you could see his feet were poking out, and they were like kind of like floating in the river, and it was like kind of gross. And while we were there was these 3 Hindu priests that stopped us, and they put a white dot on our forehead and tied I took it off, but they tied a red bracelet around our wrists and chanted something. And so my friend was like, that's probably them saying like, okay, here's where we cut off their arm. And the white dot is letting everyone in the area know that these are the stupid Americans. So I have no idea what they're saying. I looked it up, and online it said that they were chanting something like a spell of protection or a blessing of protection, something like that. But I don't really know. And they didn't speak any English, so we didn't know what each other was saying. And the next day we went on a trek, and it probably wasn't like that big of a trek compared to what some other people have done, but it was a big trek for me and the people I went with. We had a guide with us, and he took us up into the mountains, and we were walking like on a path that was about a foot wide, and on one side was the mountain, and on the other side was what I thought was like a hill, but it wasn't. It was a drop off. I did not know that because it was the way the hill was, or the way the bushes were coming up, made it look like it was ground. And in the path ahead, there was a hole. I didn't see there was a hole because there was vegetation covering it. So I stepped right into the hole and almost fell off the mountain. My tour guide grabbed this bag and pulled me up to safety. So that is my lucky bag from now on. But it was really beautiful seeing the countryside and the mountains. We didn't see Mount Everest, but we saw some other really cool mountains, and the farms built into the mountains. That was really cool. We walked through an old village. And my one friend that didn't go with us, she went to see the living goddess, and so she saw the living goddess, which is apparently a 4-year-old girl, and she's not allowed to leave the temple. If she ever leaves, and I think they can only leave like 2 times a year, they have to be carried because their feet aren't allowed to touch the outside ground. And so, yeah, it sounds like an interesting experience. I guess they know she's the living goddess because she doesn't have any marks on her body, and there's tests that she has to go through to figure out if she's a living goddess or not. So that was really, really interesting. I thought that was pretty cool. The souvenirs over there could be really, really cheap also, so if you want to get some cool souvenirs. But if you go to Nepal, I highly recommend it. I had a blast. Yeah, if you have any questions, comments, stories about you going to Nepal, let me know in the comments. I guess guess that's it. Masalama. Bye.